Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Let's get let the counter catch up to who we got in here. But I'm Dave, and this double hook angling Friday mornings jigging coffee. We're going to tie up some 1/8 ounce today, and these are number 2 stickle hook, or excuse me, was these 2 or 2/0? 2/0 stickle hook. Sorry, had to think there for a minute. Anyhow, let's go up and see who all is in here this morning. Oh, Fish in the Mid-South said, I'm first. Yay me. Rod's in here. He's second. Bullet. Hey, Kelly. Hopefully Kelly's still in here. He just said, hey, not too long ago. Mark, Catfish and Crappie. Steve. Joe Buck 66. Pond Hopper TV. Rat. Good morning. Norman. Catfish Dog Tim. Morning. Good morning. That thumbnail looks familiar. It's going to look real familiar once we get the website done. So this one here, me and Rex, well, not me. Rex is building me and Double Hook Angling LLC a new website for purchasing. So got to get up to the modern times. Basically, the 28 messages that you get just to sell one little thing is, getting to be a little bit. Anyway, so we're getting a website built up, and it'll be Double Hook Angling LLC. So it'll be up before too long. I'm not pushing him. He wanted to have it done here like today, I think, or something like that. But I told him the other day to just take your time. And like I said, Rex, I don't care if it's up for another week or not, because yesterday I sold 6 rod holders, the ones I had that were painted all up. So a guy come to the house and got 5, and then another guy got 1. So anyway, this right here is going to be the Black Ghost, is what we're calling this. It's just a little black ghost minnow pattern. So before too long, like I said, you'll be able to purchase these off the website, along with some other ones. Let me kind of give you a little preview of what we got going on. So, been filling the box. Y'all know that I just tie and tie and tie, and then they all get shoved in here. There's probably a few hundred in here. So, one of the other ones that so this will be just straight up sour truce. And then this one's a sapphire blues. So, and then the orange crushes. We used to call them the double crush or whatever, but I just like orange crush. So those will be available on the website. We'll add more here and there as we go. I just happen to have skeins of chenille for those, so I know that I can produce enough to get what we need. So, and then I took them back out to the garage. But anyways, y'all seen my rod holders. The rod holders will be available on the website as well, along with the shirts, bait rags, and other things. So, Lisa, welcome in. See, the thing is Rex is pushing himself way more than I am. So, but that's kind of our personalities. I think that's why we get along so well, because we just push ourselves to, you know. Dave didn't send me a shirt. He said the tent maker was on vacation. Well, Mid-South, I have all the way up to 5X, so there's no excuses. So I have small through 5X. Don't have very many of the 4, 5s and the 3, 4, and 5Xs, but I have a few. So I know that we got some big friends. See, I got some big friends. One of my friends wears a 4 or 5X. So Jason, and he just, I mean, he's like, oh no, you're a smaller. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to cut sleeves out. Just take the bigger one. It's all right. But today we're tying up some 1/8, and I believe that I did them on a 2/0 hook. It might be a 1. The one from 2/0 to 1/0, like from there to there, there to there. So it's like, okay, I got the box set out there with that idea. How do I order one, Dave? Order what? A shirt? I like them orange ones bad. Love them. How do I order one, Dave? Was that Mark? Was that a shirt or yeah, a shirt? Um, for right now, just message me. The website will be up, like I said here before too long, and then you'll be able to go there. And the website's doublehookanglingllc.com. But we're still building it. If you just want a shirt, Mark, um, message me the size you want, and then I'll message you back. Um, shipping on certain sizes is gone up because the post office is crazy and raised the rates to skyrocket. So, but we'll work something out. When the website gets up there, y'all just go to the website. The prices are set and everything. But my shirts are not as expensive as what you would think. Want me wait for the site? You can use my order as a test. Yeah, if you want to do that, Mark, if you're not in a hurry to get it and you're willing to wait a little bit, sure, we can do that. But if you're wanting it now, I get it shipped out to you now. I get it shipped out today if you're wanting it today. I got packaging and all that, and got the shirts available as we speak. I don't do the. See, here's the thing: is I was going to do. Rex is trying to talk me into doing that. Spring tea or whatever and stuff like that. But I mean, they do take a big cut, but then I don't have to worry about getting them printed and stuff like that. But I've gotten a couple of those shirts, and I'm not really fond of the quality. So I get my shirts done next door at a company that a friend of mine owns. It's called Factory 233, and their website is myteamgear.com. Now, uh, he's a friend. We sponsor each other, as in we tell each other, we promote each other's business. Now, he doesn't give me nothing, I don't give him nothing. We're friends. So what we do on our own personal deal is our personal business. So, but he's a great dude. I watch out for his business when they're not there, like overnight and in the evenings and stuff. And if they have a problem, they call me and I run out there and be like, hey, what are you doing over here? Get away from that business. I got to be that grumpy old man, no t-shirt on, going and wheeling out there. They're so crazy, dude. That happened the other day. Steve called me and was like, the neighbor over there called and said that there's a guy sitting on my picnic table. So I got up, ran out, well, not ran, but wheeled out there real fast and was like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing here? He's like, I just seen the bench and thought I'd sit down and stuff. I'm from, some company or whatever, walking around doing sales and stuff in this town. And I says, well, this is private property. You're not supposed to be here. There's benches on Main Street. Have on your way. So he got up and left. So, you know, that kind of thing. But anyways, he makes screen printed. So like these, you can feel the ink on these things. So everybody's got one of my shirts. You feel that. And then I've got shirts that I've had for 3 years now and wear them, once a week or whatever. And they're little bit light, but I mean, they're not real bad. So what happens is the color fades out of the shirt. So like my back shoulders get real faded out. But they're Gildan shirts. They're good quality shirts. So, and I supporting a local business. He supports me. Some of his employees have bought morale holders. Got some jigs and stuff. So it's just fun. This whole thing, and we're not in this for the money. Let me tell you that, because I end up putting more money in this business right now, but I'm growing. So, I've had a few people contact me with weird and odd questions. Like they want to know, like personal stuff, and I'm like thinking they're scammers or whatever. So I mess with them hard, and I'm not nice. I'd be like, I'll be mean, or like one guy was like, "Do you have an EIN number?" Well, for one thing, that's nobody's business, and I am a legit business. I have my state license and everything, so yes, I do have that number to pay my taxes and all that. But they were like, "Do you have?" They asked me at first, like the codes for the tax paper, that for that form or whatever, and I didn't realize that's what they were talking about. I thought because they were asking me about jigs, so I thought they were talking about a style of hook. Well, if you put in that number for a style of hook, it's like a big, you know, uh, egg hook style, like big hook. Um, and I was like, no, I don't tie flies like that. I used to tie flies and stuff for friends and people and stuff, but now I'm strictly jig. And then he was like, well, Dave's an idiot for not, fine, I guess we're going to contact the IRS. I was like, you do what you got to do. I just thought it was funny. I don't, and then when people call me, like telemarketers call you, I'll be like, hold on a minute, I got to put my pork sandwich down. Because if they're from the Middle East, that's very offensive to them. I get rude sometimes if they want to sit there and argue. I think it's fun. It gives me something to do on the phone. They're going to call me and waste my time. I'm going to waste their time. At least by I'm sitting there messing with them, they're not jacking with somebody else, some innocent old lady or something, that doesn't understand that that's what they're doing is scamming her and then gives her out her private information and then they take her house and all this stuff because she made the mistake of being nice and you know people from back generations back, they're too trusting in some aspects because they believe all people inherently have good in them, and 99% of all people do have good in them, but there are people out there that are evil and want to take advantage of other people. So trust me, being a being in a wheelchair, people think you're vulnerable, and they do want to try to take advantage of you, even out in public and stuff. But then when they find out they're dealing with a grumpy old dude, things change real quick. Yeah, you like the story when people park in the handicap and then get out and I go, hey, you forgot your tag or whatever, or if you got to put up your plate, and they go, well, I don't have one. I'm just parking here for a minute. I'll be right in and right out. Oh no, that don't happen. Yeah, I get aggressive. I probably shouldn't, but they don't. When somebody in a wheelchair gets aggressive, people usually don't know what to do. They just stand there in awe, like, what the heck? And anymore, I've I'll still do it, but I don't pay attention too much anymore. I just get in there and get out. I'm so busy these days. But if I do see somebody like that or whatever, I'll remind them to put their plate up. And if they don't, and they say that something like that, I'll be like, all right. And then the good thing is I've got a couple of the WalMarts I go to. They usually have officers on duty or like off-duty officers, like doing security and stuff. You just go up and let them know. They take care of it. They call in one of their buddies, or write them a handicap parking ticket. In Kansas, it's $100 to $500 depending on where you're at. And the judges usually don't let you out of it. They make you pay it unless you got a handicap plaque that you forgot to put up or something. And if that's the case, it's fine. But usually when they don't know or they say something like that or they something stupid, that they're full of it. They're just being lazy and don't want to walk that extra. And you can't always tell because some people that can walk just fine, they have heart problems or breathing problems, so they can only walk a certain distance, but they can walk that short distance fine. So you just got to be nice about it until they become aggressive or they get defensive or something like that, and then I get defensive quick. But I'm from a generation we didn't put up with crap. Hey, Coastal, Kansas Chad, good morning. Anybody else I missed? So these, like I said, these jigs will be available before too long. You can get them now. You want to get them now? You just have to order them through me, and I'll take care of y'all. On most jigs, shipping is about $7. $750. Because I send them in a small enough package. Now the T-shirts, the smaller sizes on the T-shirts, I can get shoved in that smaller package, which would be about $7 or $8 shipping. But the bigger shirts, they go into a bigger package, which ends up being like $12. Well, that's freaking ridiculous for shipping on a shirt, in my opinion. But I guess but you pay about the same amount driving to a store to buy something. So I don't know. I just feel so bad that shipping is so high, but it's not my fault. That's just kind of how it is. Heck, if you order one of my rod holders, shipping's between uh, the shipping and handling is about $22 to start with, and the more you get, like I sent off one package, it was 4 rod holders or 8 rod holders. Excuse me, it was $45 shipping for 8 rod holders. But on the website, the boxes that I have, you can only stick 4 in. So on the website, it'll say that you can only purchase 4 yeah, at a time. But basically, what that's meaning is you're going to purchase those 4, and it's going to go in that box, so you get the shipping for that. But then you can add another one and have another 4. So but you'll get 2 boxes and 2 shipping costs. So the shipping just is what's bad about this. But then you got, for everything you make, whether it's jigs, flies, rod holders, all that kind of stuff, you got to pay excise tax onto the feds. So it all costs. And with the cost of the taxes, the sales tax, if you sell in the state, the or if I sell from here at the house, you got to pay sales tax. Then you got this and that and everything else. And man, I'm telling you, this week I paid $37 for an 8-piece family meal from KFC. Everything is expensive. That's expensive. Yeah, that's pretty dang. I mean, I remember when they had the $10 buckets. Of course, that was in the. I mean, $10 family pack. That was like in the '80s, though. Yeah, Rex did a great deal on the. Will be available earlier next week. From there, you'll be able to order the rod holders, jigs, and apparel. There you go. T Rex is letting y'all know what's going on. He knows more about the website because he's the one building it. He's awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Rex is awesome. Ain't nobody said nothing ever bad about him, anyway, as far as I know. Oh, by the way, here, let's talk about some other products that's going to be available soon. Um, we, like I said, you don't make much money because you spend money to get into this business. You got all kinds of stuff. Those of you that do pour jigs and things know that this business is not. I mean, you don't make a whole lot of money at all. I'll be lucky if I break even half the time. So this is a minnow head jig. I don't know how well it's showing here. But this is a minnow head jig, and you notice they ain't got no eyes in it yet. But that's what I bought a mold for this. I bought a pro mold. These are double X wire mustad hooks. These do not bend. So these are what the pros use, and we're calling this the pro line. The pro line will come with a size 4 hook, 1/16 ounce head only is what I am doing with the minnow heads. They'll have eyes on them. I'll clear coat them, all that stuff. But that'll be coming, in the next month or so. I'm going to get plenty, made up and done. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. Now, another color that's going to be available that I haven't even showed Rex yet. Let me do it because I showed you that black nose. This one is going to be one of the mainstays that will always be on my website. It'll be a pink head because it's a classic color. Chartreuse tail and black rock. Like one of the most basic colors. And you can find them on probably 2/3 of the jig companies out there that do hand ties. You will find this jig in their inventory just because it's such an old school common jig. Here's my reasoning why this jig works as well as it does. Okay? You have the pink of the head, the black of the body, and the chartreuse of the tail. Now, there's 3 different light spectrums that occur. That's not that. There's 3 different light spectrums that occur in that. So 3 different colors of hue. So that way, I think that if a fish can't see that color or that color or that color, it's going to see one of the colors. So it draws its attention to it from a further distance, and then they come in and then see it and then bang. So that's kind of my opinion. I don't know if that's scientifically accurate or not, but that's just kind of the experience that I have by watching the fish, you know, react to it from a distance, or is that just a normal attraction that they see something move in the water column? But they're finding out more and more that crappie have more ability to see color than what we originally thought. Even just in the last year, they've added to the list of colors that crappie can actually see. They also see an ultraviolet, which um, ultraviolet uh, we can't really see unless we use a black light, and they can. So when you shine up something, I was looking for my black light here. When you shine up these things, they pretty much glow like a, like when we were kids and you went to black light parties and stuff. If y'all didn't, that was one of the best things ever. Especially back when in the '80s, when and I'm good taking y'all back to my early high school days. We had blacklight parties where the makeup at the time. Oh, I just broke that off. The makeup at the time that the girls wore would some of it would glow in the dark like neon because of the colors that it was. Hold on, I got the name of it. So I just that color scheme is like electric chicken. Yeah, and I actually have some what they call atomic chicken or electric chicken. I mean, it goes by different names. It's the black sour truce and uh, pink. I guess this was the atomic chicken, which has the orange. The electric chicken has the pink in it, and I do have no. I got, but like I said, I want to be able to provide y'all with jigs to where you can have a steady thing. But if you want custom jigs, you're still more than welcome to give me a holler because that's actually what I prefer if you want to put custom. Like the pro jigs, I probably won't ever have the pro jigs available on the website. You'll probably just have to contact me, which the bad thing is that you probably get different purchase or something. Or I don't. We might do it later, but for now we're just going to do the 6 to 8 that I decide on. I think we're up to 6 once I do this. And then I just put a little bit of flash, some chartreuse flash in the feathers. And this is a crystal black, so it's got a sheen to it. I know the camera's probably not showing it, but it does have a sheen to it. You guys see it sparkle there. So this is this one we're just gonna we don't have a name for it yet. I'm probably just gonna call it like OG Classic or something like that. We'll figure it out. Some of them I'm just gonna let Rex name as well. That way we have different, like we have the gray ghost and the orange crusher and stuff like that. But we're gonna just put names to them and make it kind of neat. So. And these will be available in 1/8 and 1/16. The 1/16 will be on a size 2 hook, I believe. Whoop! Drop it, Dave. Did you chip that head? Yep. I chipped that head. I do with my jigs. This is how I do my jigs, guys. So I do them on a cookie sheet like this with a baking rack. That way I can just hang them when I do them, when I coat them. what it does for me is at the end where you file, when you hang them upside down like that, if you put the proper amount of paint on them, you don't get too many cone heads, but it'll puddle down at the bottom a little bit, and it'll fill that, so it appears more smooth. Plus, it also puts a little thicker paint on the head, so you can bang the rock a little bit more. Yeah, them skunk jigs, they I like the color of them too. I've kept a few of them from my box, and then I gave Gregory a couple of the ones that turned out maybe a little bit. Uh, I didn't notice the head till after I got it by. But we I got uh, I had a bunch of rod holders painted up and ready to go, and I sold them all this last week. I mean, and I'm not like saying I sold a lot. I just sold the ones that I had painted. Um, and then I was going to paint some more this morning, and went out there, and a 20-mile-an-hour wind. So this is what Dave's okay. Dave's thinking that powder coat equipment, since Dave was online looking at it, is really not that expensive. And the price that I pay for paint, I got to figuring out. It cost me X amount of dollars to paint a rod because I know how many I can paint out of one can of primer and one can of paint. Now I get 4 times of them painted with the primer because I do the primer real light because I don't want it thick. And just enough to bite the metal so the paint bites the primer, which is biting the metal. So then I go and uh, started checking out, doing some powder coat investigating, and find out that the rod holders will fit in my oven, the short ones. The long ones will not. Um, and that's my regular, kitchen oven that I have out in the shop to bake my jigs. Because I do, when I bake jigs, I'm usually baking that full sheet. Like here, let me show you. So I'm baking this is a full size cookie sheet. I mean, it like barely fits in an oven. I don't know. It's probably 16 by 20 or so. 16 by 22, maybe 24, 22. It's a big cookie sheet. But that's what I bake my jigs on. And so usually, like this run, I only did like, I think there was 120 on there when I started. But since I know how to powder coat, I've done some powder coating of some parts at a friend's house before, so it's not real hard. As long as you have a good electrolysis machine and or to electrify the metal, you spray that powder on there, and even if it's like the small rod, it will dust around the corner and it'll fill in. You just got to make sure you get everywhere. And if you coat it and it's got a little bald spot on it or whatever, if it's like the jigs, you could probably just uh, reshoot that area and stick it back in and heat it back up. But I don't know. I need to get a hold of Jerry uh, and find out. Um, you know, uh, was it 419 powder coating Jerry that's always in everybody's lives? I think he said before that he would help me if I had issues with doing the powder. So, and that's what I'm thinking is I might just, and then I checked into how to cure the tall one, and I've got an idea for that, but we're not going to talk about it. I let me do my thing and see if I can even come up with it before I get everybody too excited. But I'm thinking that I might want to start powder coating these things. Yeah, Tim. Hey, also, the since you just said that you have multiple pics and videos of people catching, fishing the skunk jig. If you wouldn't mind, post some of that on my business page, Double Hook Angling. Um, the not the group, but the business page, and that'll get some draw some attention to my business. That would be the best way for y'all to help out. So, um, if y'all really want to help double hook angling grow, and you want to help me with my business, then share out some of your videos and stuff that you have using my stuff um, to double hook angling. Share it to me, to my page, David Lemon. Most of y'all are friends with me on Facebook. Share it to me, and let's try to get this company to grow a little better. I just want to do stuff for you. I want to live my life. I want to have a good purpose in life to strive to do better. And this is also with doing these rod holders and everything. I'm going to tell you, I was an okay welder, right? I never said I was a good welder. I've always said I'm a great grinder. But doing these rod holders and having to do such small, usually I'm doing big things, welding structural stuff or building, tables and things like that. Where I don't care what it really looks like. I built a few bumpers. I have another YouTube channel that's Lemon Fab, LEMENFAB, and on that channel, I kind of neglected it last year and a half. Well, actually, the last 4 years because of Naomi and a wreck, and then me and my heart attack, and so I got excuses out the yin yang. But basically, I haven't been in the shop enough to do a bunch to record, or when I am in the shop, I don't think it's worthy enough for that other channel. So the other channel's only got like 300 subscribers, so it's nothing big, but on there, you can see me building a bumper for my son's 4Runner. I repaired a Jeep. I got another video that I'm editing that's a year old. I did last year, which is another frame repair on a Jeep, and it's like a whole, capping and subsection and cutting stuff out and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I love to do. Is I love to be in the shop. I love to weld. I love to do all that. So if you can see, I'm losing weight. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to stay alive just to have a great time. Be with my family and Naomi more and stuff and things like that. But we've also, you guys have here's another thing, the boat. Y'all know that boat means break out another time. Well, I've spent enough money on this boat. It runs great now. I mean, we have no problem with it. The problem we're still having is not really a problem. It's just a situation we haven't found a solution to yet, and that's Mr. Gregory. Mr. Gregory is still very apprehensive about it, that kind of thing. So we're going to use the boat until next spring, and before I decide to redeck it, because I want to redeck it, I'm either going to, I want to redeck it in aluminum. But before I spend that money, before I go through all of that to do it, we're going to decide whether or not it is worth keeping the boat. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at with the boat. Gregory just, I don't know. It's just hard with Gregory. So if we do get rid of the boat, here's what I'm thinking. Camper. We can do just as much fishing from a camper as we can a boat. We're bank fishermen at heart anyways. We were just trying to get into the boat fishing to have more fun, to be out there, to do more things. Because we used to do boating all the time. Now, if I was walking and wasn't in a stupid chair, and I'm going to blame it on the chair, because it is very difficult at most of these boat ramps in Kansas because they're like this. They go out first, but then they get to that point and then they drop like that. And that's before they ever get to the water. So it's kind of a safety issue with, me launching the boat and getting out of the truck and then leaving the truck unattended and emergency brake on and hope that it doesn't give way and end up in the water. And I mean, it's just that whole mental deal about it. And I'm just in anguish over it all the time. So when we have people go with us, no problem. My son goes with me. I don't fear about it at all. Just drop the boat, back the boat in the water, launch it and go. We haven't had any friends go with us yet. Just things haven't worked out, but we're going to get everybody out here before too long. So I got to go to Hutch and get the prop. I still have not been to Hutch to get the new prop. They had the old bass boat prop on it, which is like a 21 pitch. And we're going to go to 15 pitch, which is more conducive to pontoon boat. So it'll slow us down on high end, but we'll be able to troll a little slower too, because about as slow as I can get that boat to about 1.8, and I want to get that boat down to like 1.25 on idle troll, just off of idle into gear trolling with the that's kind of how. We'll see what happens. I think Gregory, the more we use it, he might get comfortable with it, but that's kind of the options we've been looking at. How How's the lake been? I haven't been out. It's been hot. Yeah, blue green algae starting to take over. The only place that we can really fish right now is our pond, our personal pond at the farm, or Cheney has been all right lately, but I think Cheney's starting. The algae's been climbing at Cheney. Lake Afton is locked out. You can't even go there to fish now. I think they've shut that lake completely down. Um, I just yeah, it's rough. The lease still the lease the other day had some when we were fishing there. The video. Oh, by the way, yeah. Earlier, Rex said something about a edited video. We did release an edited video this morning, or Rex released an edited video this morning. Did a great job on it of us fishing at the lease. Um, and so that it's just been a struggle. So there was a little bit of blue green algae. I don't think I would eat the fish out of it at the moment, but we could still go catch them, release them, have some fun. The algae's not bad enough where you can't touch the water. I mean, you probably should, but I don't care. I fish where the water is like, it looks like moss on the top, but it's blue green algae. Just wash your hands. Don't stick your fingers in your mouth. Don't cut your line with your teeth. That kind of thing. You'll be all right. Ah, let go of the ball. Hey, want to be outdoors? Matt, good morning. Hope you're doing well. And if not, praying for you. Yeah, we have a lot of friends that have been sick lately. Heart problems, issues, things like that. I've had some problems, issues lately, but guess what? They figured out my problem. They had me stop taking the beta blockers about 5 months ago or so, and all my problems I've had has been in that time. Well, I guess the problem is that I have ADD. We all know I got ADD. I can come up with as much adrenaline as you want. Get me excited. We'll find out. That's bad for your heart. Put me back on beta blockers this week, and they said that will control my adrenaline spikes, which will control my palpitations and my feeling that I'm having a heart attack. I didn't have no problems for a whole year after the heart attack, and now they're figuring that out. So I'm blessed. Somebody's binging my phone like crazy. Oh, it's Tim and Rhett. Get me a video. Okay, I'll have to answer those in a minute. But so I got, and I've been losing weight. I since we found that out, I feel so much better just mentally. So I don't feel like I'm gonna die all the time every time. Hey Lisa, how you doing, girl? I don't feel like I'm dying all the time, anyways, or at least the anxiety and all that. But that beta blockers they've found control it helps control PTSD and anxiety and stuff like that. Anyway, so it ain't gonna hurt for me to be on it. So I went ahead. I don't like being on man-made drugs and stuff, but after I did some research and everything, the beta blockers are actually good for you to a point. Way better than the side effects or the problems they have with it. But also they think that I'll be able to get off the blood thinner here real quick anyways because I really don't need it. It's been over a year. It's been a year and a half since my stint, and they just want you to be on the blood thinner for a year. But you know what that means? It means that if I get off the blood thinners, I will be able to be out in the heat a little bit more as well. So, and then they also found out that I make too many red blood cells. So that doesn't help neither. When you get dehydrated, you get clotty, and you know, uh, basically your body wants to have a heart attack because you're starting to get clots in your system and stuff. So, what's the solution to that? They told me go get blood. So I'm going to start going to give blood. But also, here's another thing: is when you give blood, the cholesterol that's floating in your bloodstream or the plaque that's floating in your bloodstream that hasn't attached to your arteries yet, when you give blood, that comes out as well with the blood. And so, if you give enough blood during a year, you can actually reverse the cholesterol and the plaque and stuff that's in your bloodstream. You know, you may not get it off your artery walls, but you know, you can get it out of your bloodstream so it'll quit accumulating. So guess what Dave's going to do? Dave's going to find out where the pay you for your stuff is at, and I'm gonna go sell my stuff. I'm gonna be like, take, 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 you my paycheck. But like I said, I'm lifting weights too again. So I don't know if you guys can start to see some definition or not. I'm not, like I said, I'm not boasting. I'm just happy. I'm just proud of myself. I think we should all be proud of ourselves and our accomplishment. I now only weigh 215 pounds, so that's pretty good from 258. You know what? I didn't put no here. Let's unwrap that, dude. I got the talking a little bit. I didn't put no flashaboo in there. But if you think about it, that's like a fifth of my body. So now I want to get now that I've got down to this, I'd like to lose another 35 pounds and be 180. That's about where I want to be. I don't think I get too much smaller than 180 just because my arms are as big as my arms are. Yeah, I'll wheel my fat butt around. What better cardio exercise? I even asked them. It's like, should I go do cardio? Because they never had me do cardio after the heart attack, the cardio therapy. And they're like, nope, you don't need to do cardio, Dave. You're all over the freaking place. You do enough cardio just talking. They're like, you wheel enough and you wheel fast. You're not wheeling slow like old people. You know, they're like, you do plenty of cardio. Well, Greg's home, so y'all know what time that is. It's What You Got Gregory. So if y'all don't know, Gregory is a my my son, my partner in crime, my fishing buddy, and he goes to the thrift stores on Friday, and he finds goods and brings them home, and then he gets to share them all with you. So one more look at that jig. Yeah, quit eyeballing the jig. He's over here all like squinty eyed. What are you doing, Greg? Where's your hat? You took it off already, didn't you? What you got? What you got, Gregory? What is it? Is that to hit your brother with? Show him. Get it up in the picture. There you go. You gotta get a little higher. This camera is not there. You go. I'll back up with the camera. I don't want me in there though. What is that? Tell me what it is. What is it? I can't read it. It's a saucepan, but it's got a lid, so you could use it as a Dutch oven if you wanted to, because it lift it up a little bit so they can see it in the camera. So, like on the lid here, it's got little indentions, so you could put some holes and stuff on that to do a little bake at a campsite or what have you. But it is. Show them the inside. If you look, go real close so they can see in there real close. If you look, you see how rough that is in there. So you would want to maybe bake in it, and that's probably about it. Maybe some beans and stuff. But it really somebody over seasoned it, so it needs to look at Tim. I showed him your eyeballs. But if you take this outside, hit it with a flap wheel on the inside, clean it up real nice, and smooth it out, and then polish it down a little bit smoother, and they won't nothing stick in there once you cure it. See if the old cast iron. Thank you, Gregory. The old cast iron pans from back in the day, they were like glass smooth on the bottom. That's why eggs didn't stick. You know, all that food didn't stick. The cast iron pans you buy today have that rough texture. That rough texture is good for meat and things like that because it holds it up just a little bit. But for cooking eggs and pancakes and all that other stuff, you want as smooth as the bottom of the pan as you can get. I only cook with cast iron. Now we'll boil water in another pan, you know, things like that. But all my skillets, I have one, two, three. I have a 7-inch, an 8-inch, and a 12-inch pan, and then I have a flat griddle, and then on the reverse of that flat griddle is the bars, and that's what I use. That's what we use to cook. But I can go in there and fry an egg right now in my pan. Bring me one. Bring me my 7-inch pan. We get on it. we get off the jigs here for a second, and it's just some, just general conversation. So you see that? You see how smooth that pan is. Okay, this pan is about 80 years old. This belonged to Naomi's grandmother, and that pan, you can fry an egg in this right here, just like that, and you don't even have to use any oil. There's enough oil in this that it won't stick. So, I scrambled eggs, they don't stick in them. But yeah, we go back to this other one here a little bit. We got plenty of jigs to tie in the next couple days. But like I was saying earlier about the rod holders, like my brain goes everywhere, so we're gonna get back on the rod holders. The rod holders, I guess this is good that I jumped from subject to subject because new people that come in get to hear what I was saying earlier. Bad thing is, if you've been here the whole time, you're going to hear it all again. But so the rod holders on the website, I think what we're going to do is actually invest into doing some powder coating and test and do what have you. But the rod holders on their website for the time being will be painted until we get the process figured out on the orange. And then also, I'm not doing colors anymore unless you want to pay a custom. If you want a custom colored rod holder, contact me personally, and we will deal with you through Messenger and personalization of your rod holder. Because the only colors that will be available online will be the orange and then primer. I'm not even going to put if you want just a blank metal one, no paint on it whatsoever, you'll have to contact me. We were going to do non-painted and painted, and actually, we still might do non-painted, primed, and then orange. But I don't remember what I told Rex to put on the website. So we'll have to talk about this further, anyways, because he's going to need pricings of all of my stuff. And hi, lovers, come here. You want to say, oh, who's big girl? What are you doing? Say hi, everybody. You look like you need a sock. It said, Dobie want a sock? On was that Harry Potter, Dobby or whatever needs a sock to get free or whatever? Well, this is Dobie. What's the website? The website is Double Hook Angling LLC, but it is not up yet. Be patient; it'll be up next week. Was what I was told. What we were all told just a while ago by Rex. These feathers are junk, and I'm picking through them trying to find good ones, and I can every once in a while get a good one out of there. Or I get to where like this one's good, and except for that spot right there. The last order I got a feather. I'm gonna tell you. Matter of fact, I'll tell you who they come from. They come from Waffle. Some of them come from Hairline. I actually let me be correct here. These ones actually came from Hairline. I have the package right here, and they were not there. There's my proof. They were not good. I was not happy. I don't care. Here's my proof. This is what I got, and this is how they are. They're all trumped up. I'm able to get like a few good pieces out of them to make the jig, but I'm being very particular. I'm not just throwing stuff in there. And y'all know me, I don't like ugly stuff. And yeah, because these feathers are so ugly, I'm stacking feathers, and y'all know I hate stacking. I stack feathers for the project just because they got to be more even. But I hate stacking feathers, but that's what we're doing today is stacking feathers. I know I had another piece of that there. Yeah, the website is not. Thank you, Rex. I appreciate that. Y'all let me. I said something too. Gregory is going to need a strong storage unit at some point. Yeah, yeah. I should take the camera and show y'all his bedroom, but he might get mad. You get mad if I show him your bedroom? He went. I think he's meaning no, not show them, not know that he's not going to get mad. It's not bad. It's just, I mean, some clothes on the ground. There's no big deal. But he's got probably 1,000 Hot Wheels in there. They're all on shelves and stuff. But he's got shelves just sitting there. It's. God love him. He has got his hobbies, and he will. He's got. He's probably got enough military gear as far as clothing that he could probably clothe at least a good squad. I bet you he could probably clothe. What do you say? Maybe 6 to 12 people, 8 to 12 people. I bet you could clothe 8 to 12 people easy enough if they were all about your size. Sent you a couple videos. Yeah, I seen that, but I appreciate you. Yeah, if you guys just tag Double Hook Angling, the business page, not the group, then your videos and your pictures and stuff like that will get tagged into there. Y'all know how that works. And if y'all don't follow Double Hook Angling, the business page, please go over and do so. I post some videos there that usually I repost them everywhere, but I post some stuff there that's not going to get posted other places, and eventually, it definitely is not going to. If I don't move that box, everything's going to fall. That box probably weighs about 8 pounds now. But yeah, we've been doing really. Look, your battery's running low. Why am I unplugged? Who unplugged me? That don't kill my feed. Boy, it was like flashing at me. I think it was fixing to kill everything off. Shut me down. I'm plugged back in now. I don't know why I got unplugged. Surely we didn't do that many. When did I miss? It must have just got active. There's stuff that's on the computer. Sent you a couple videos. Make sure that. All right. So, like I said, website coming soon, hopefully this week. And if not, then it takes a little bit longer. It takes a little bit longer. That stuff's not easy, and there's no way I could have done it within a year. So be patient on that, guys. But in the meantime, if you want some jigs or you want something, just get a hold of me. We'll make it happen, Captain. See, that feather is awful. See all that? That's just wrong. Now that feather's nice. I don't know. Maybe the chickens were all got in a fight, or maybe it was because of the eggs and stuff and everything that happened, last 2 years or last year or whatever, with all the bird stuff going on and everything. Maybe the supply was limited, so they was like, "Oh, that'll be it. We're going to lower our standards of supply here." And we'll just, and you know what? Hopefully, see, look at that. There's so many feathers that are like this, missing part. You can't do nothing with those. Missing the tip. Yeah, these like so inconsistent on size and length and everything. I'm not pleased with that. I actually hope Hairline sees that. I hope Hairline does see this. And that way they'll know that they're sending out that they're whoever's getting their feathers from is sending out some stuff that is not kosher. I don't like bashing companies, but if you're putting out a product like that, you deserve for people to know about it so they can make a more informed choice before they buy your feathers that look really good on the web. If I ever send y'all something that you don't like, say something. We'll work something out. I'm not a total, you know, pain in the butt when it comes to getting what you want. But with welding the rod holders, even like I said earlier, I'm getting way better at it. My welding skills are greatly improving by having to do that smaller, tighter, stuff. So if you got rod holders in the past that maybe had a little hiccup and stuff on the weld and what have you, well, just know that you got OG ones, and people will be able to tell in the future when I become not rich but somewhat maybe notable that hey man, if you got a double hook angling rod holder, you can tell when they were made just by certain aspects of it. That'd be kind of neat. I'll never amount to anything important. I'm just a guy trying to do his thing, trying to have fun with it, build a small company or small business, whatever you want to call it. Have some fun along the way, meet friends, get the joy of watching people catch stuff on my jigs or catch stuff with my rod holders. Just enjoy that whole aspect of making a good product for y'all. They weren't jig feather chickens. Now they's probably eating chickens, and they just like, oh hey, we got all these feathers out here at the butcher. Let's just wash them up and throw them. Yes, yeah. Let's just there you go. Align all them feathers, get enough to run them through the sewing machine, and get them together. I don't know. I got some real good supplies back in the day, but lately the and I did I did say the wrong company earlier when I was talking about them, and usually Wapsie has good feathers. The thing is Carolina has the saltwater hackle, which seems to have longer hairs for these bigger jigs. They work better, but today is not the case. This stuff looks like it. And the bad thing is I bought 4 sacks of it, and if y'all know, feathers ain't cheap. Especially when you get these saltwater hackle, they're like $7 a package. It is what it is, man. Everybody's like, "Oh, jigs should be cheap. Jigs should be like." I had one guy tell me that jigs should be a quarter a piece, and I said they are if you go to Bass Pro or Cabela's or Chills or Academy or any of those places that sell the card that has 10 jigs on it. You're going to get basic marabous that come untied after the second or third fish. I pulled them out of the package where they come untied as I'm tying them on. I've had people tell me they've caught over 100 fish on mine. I know for a fact that when we were at Cheney, I caught a lot of white perch on mine. Now, the other thing is a few years ago before the kit shut down Kingman Lake, we went out there and slayed 5, 6, 700 crappie in a day. And most of the time I was only using 3 or 4 jigs. So, you know, and I'm not talking colors, I'm talking actual physical jigs. And they just catch that many fish. That was a blast. Now the problem was most of those crappie were 5 inches long because it was way overpopulated with white crappie. Way. But yeah, we got some plans to do some more stuff when fall gets here. It's just so blazing hot right now. I mean, yesterday was 100 and some degrees. Heat index is like 112 or something like that. I can't remember what the nail me said it was. I didn't stand there very well. Well, if I can hold on to it, the air conditioner kicked on. Is like blowing this little pencil piece around and can't get it to stop. Stop blowing it out of my fingers. That end's curled. We're going to fix that curl. There, I got it finally. I argue with you. I do what I want. All right. So we are going to get out on the boat and do some more stuff. I got to go get that prop, and because, like I said, I want to change the prop, so it's better. More, it's better for the engine to have the right prop on it when you have a different boat. So most people don't know that. They just sort of swap the engines and go. But you're supposed to have the prop pitch matched to the RPMs, matched to the size and the drag or of the boat, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to get done. If you tear up one of Dave's jigs, you had a great day. You dang right. Yeah, I usually double tie mine, and I pull it tight enough that it goes down into between the head and the chenille, and you don't see thread. I don't like seeing thread on jigs. I know companies tie threads on jigs, and that's their way of tying jigs. Some people tie jigs with very small hooks. Some people tie jigs with big giant hooks. Some people tie their chenille all the way back here, like back to here. Things like that. I like from there to there. That's what I like. It's consistent. It looks the same every single time. In whatever style of jigs you tie, if you put them in a row when you're done and have like 12 in a row, they look great. Because they're all even in uniform. So it doesn't matter what length, what size. If you like somebody's jigs, go buy them. You like my jig, buy my jig. I would prefer you buy. But like I said, I have Pro Series jigs. I have different kinds of jigs. I have all sizes of jigs. I have all colors of jigs. And so, like in this box, we have what we've been tying, the black ones and stuff. Then we have these black ones, which are marabou with the silver head. We have different colors of gray. So we have some gray packs that are different colors. So if you want some mix, we have grays. Um, we have sapphire blue will be available on the website soon. We have chartreuse on the website soon. We have orange crush on the website soon. We have silver minnow on the website soon. We have some of these silver, black and silver body, white tail. We have some just silver and silver disco, silver head, silver body, white tail. Quit, Rosie, quit licking me. I don't got no num nums for you. We'll have mixed bags. So if you want a mixed bag, that's something else that I was going to talk to Rex about. These will be available on website too eventually, not just yet. But these will basically be when I'm sitting here at the end of jig head runs and I've got different colors left over in my little pile of stuff or different sizes and stuff. We'll tie up little colorful multi packs like that, or like this, or like this, and we're going to have them on there. They'll be cheaper and just be like a little grab. But if you want personal jigs for like ice fishing or trout fishing and stuff, see if I can get this. You can get those. I have lots of them little dudes, So, yeah, like small, 1/32 ounces, um, some 1/16. I mean, just such a variety and array of colors and what have you that I will do custom. Now, custom jigs range from $1 a piece to 250. So just be mindful of that. Don't have sticker shock when I tell you it's $30 for a small handful of jigs and stuff. That's just kind of how it works. Now on the website, these jigs will be marked at a reasonable price for y'all. Everything will be done through uh, securely through Square. You don't have to worry about your banking information or anything like that getting out when you pay. So I'm going to get some rod holders. I'm going to get a hold of you when my money is right. Well, I appreciate that. So, but yeah, you guys are. I mean, you can Google Double Hook Angling LLC and eventually be able to get the website. For now, if you do that, for now you're just going to get my business thing where it gives where I'm at and what have you. But if you show up to the house, I probably won't answer the door, and if because I probably won't be here, and if I am here and you show up to the house, you better have a good reason because we don't have in-store sales. It's by appointment only. If you want to show up to the house, give me a message, give me a call, and we'll make arrangements. You can come to the shop, and I'll show you around the shop, and I'll show you the rod holders and the weights and the jigs that I have, and you can pick from that, or we can discuss what you would like to order. So I'm ordered a new wheelchair. It'll be here in about 6 more weeks, and it's going to be awesome. There'll be a big copay with that I'm trying to uh, cope with how I'm going to come up with. So we'll manage it. We always do. Um, and I got probably I'm trying to think probably about 14 or 16 rod holders ready to go. So if anybody does want some, I just got to paint them. But like I said, I'm checking into doing the powder coating thing, so we might end up doing that. So I use PVC right now. Well, PVC works. It's a little cumbersome, but yeah, it works. My rod holders, for those that do have my rod holders and are having troubles getting them to stick in the ground, when you stick it, put it on the ground and wiggle it side to side as you push down. Those teeth will go like that and work their way down into the ground. If I can do it from my wheelchair, leaning over and pressing on it, you should be able to do it. But also, you put your foot on the foot plate like Gregory does when you wiggle it down to the ground, and that will work great as well. So, until the time being, until next week, we will see you later. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I am blessed to have y'all as friends. I am blessed to have y'all here. Remember, you know, we've all had issues in life, and you can there's one place you need to lean to, and he'll take care of everything. It's all in his uh, will, anyways. It's not ours, so we need to submit to that. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a great day. Go tie something. Go fishing. Go do something. We'll see you later, and we're out of here. Be blessed, everybody.